Here's how you actually release repressed emotions that are trapped in your body and may be causing chronic pain, illness, or injury. I posted this technique on Instagram recently and got 1,000 new followers almost overnight, and have received messages from people all over the world saying that they tried this technique. It genuinely worked for them and is life-changing in what has been coming up and what they're freed from. So I'm bringing the technique here along with a little richer, deeper explanation as to how it works, and just hoping that it reaches every person who needs it, who's suffering with pain or illness and struggling to find out why. This is a very real technique to dislodge and let go of emotions once and for all that are stuck in your body. So often people tell us to just let it go. But has anyone ever sat you down and explained the real practical steps to letting go of an emotion? For the vast majority of people, the answer is no. No one ever walked you through what to do to let go of a trapped emotion and what it feels like, so you know what to expect when it's happening. I'm going to teach you all of this today. But why would we even need to dislodge an emotion if we're worried about chronic pain or illness? Here's the important part. When we refuse to express and really feel our true emotions and reactions to events in our life, and instead we choose to repress them or shove them down inside of ourselves, those emotions actually get shipped away to parts of our body. That's why the saying, "I shoved it down deep," is so commonly used, because there's a lot of truth to it. We shove emotions, which are just energy, down deep into our physical anatomy. The problem is that when those emotions get shipped down, they get stuck or lodged into parts of our body. They sit there, but they don't just sit there stagnantly. They fester. Emotions are all energy. They are living things. So they sit stuck in that part of the body, festering and growing and developing. If we make a habit in our life of constantly numbing ourselves, of biting our tongue, of refusing to say what we actually think, or of not allowing emotions to come up, instead we bury them, that means that every single time we bite our tongue or every time we swallow our tears, we're pushing all of that back down into our anatomy. And it keeps piling up inside of us. And it's when we get big pockets of that, turns toxic. And that's what can, in some cases, lead to chronic pain, illness, or injury. Now, this has been known by spiritual teachers and shamans for thousands of years, but Western medicine is actually catching up. Researchers and medical doctors all across Canada, Europe, and the United States have in recent years been conducting formal studies, and they have now been able to correlate specific repressed emotions with specific diseases. Let's say that you habitually shove down or refuse to feel or admit anger. Doctors and researchers have now matched repressed anger to very specific forms of cancer and disease. And that's just one example. There are so many different emotions and feelings that we go through in the course of our lives. We are emotional creatures, and we're meant to be able to fully express and feel these things that naturally come up. The truth is, we can't run from our emotions, but our society tends to teach people to not feel their emotions or their feelings. Many of us, if not most, are taught at some point in our life to numb ourselves to our feelings, whether that's through drinking, drugs, shopping, sex, you name it. We turn to other external outlets to help us avoid feeling our emotions. But when we're taught to numb ourselves or to avoid our feelings, it doesn't come with a warning label, and it should. Because when we shove down or numb ourselves to what we're feeling, there are very real and very painful consequences down the line. We're doing very real damage to our body, as well as to our spirit and our heart. Now, I'll do another video in the future explaining why we ship our emotions off to parts of our anatomy. It's actually fascinating. And learning that, it'll actually teach you a new way of using your mind that's more successful and to also create a happier, healthier life for yourself. But for today, let's focus on learning how to actually feel our emotions and let them go. Now, the basis for this technique is really all about being willing to face what we've been hiding from. To some people, just that alone feels a little scary. I've heard so many people around the world say that that concept alone is terrifying because they're worried that if they open the door to some of these trapped emotions from, say, traumatic experiences in the past, that it'll be this never-ending pit of despair, grief, anger, rage, you name it. Now, I want to clarify that. I know that it feels that way. I went through that in my own life when I learned this technique also. It's not true. These repressed emotions are a limited amount of energy. They often seem like they're going to feel much worse than they actually are, but the process of feeling and letting go is actually not nearly as scary, intense, or intimidating as it may seem. I encourage you to try the technique. I promise you, they're not never-ending pits of emotion. You can actually move through these rather quickly if you follow this technique. And with that, let's get into it. There are 4 steps to this technique for dislodging and letting go of trapped emotions that can be causing chronic illness, pain, or injury. To do this, I recommend going somewhere where you can have some privacy. You want to sit or lay down somewhere comfortable. That's important. You want your body to be as comfortable as it can be. The first step is you're going to rub your palms together vigorously 30 times. It's going to look like this. Doing this opens up the energy meridian in your palm, which are actually very powerful centers for channeling healing energy. The second step, you're going to take both of your hands, place the palms over top of each other, see like this, and you're going to lightly place them over the part of your body that's hurting. The third step, with your hands still lightly resting on the part of the body that's hurting, you're going to close your eyes, focus your mind in on that part of the body, and you're going to silently ask, what is causing this pain? At this step, don't be surprised if suddenly emotion or stories or memories come flooding into your conscious mind. You may suddenly remember something cruel that someone said or did to you months or even decades ago. Let it come up. You also might suddenly feel tears spring into your eyes, or you may feel the sudden urge to get angry. Let it come up. Don't bite your tongue. Don't swallow the tears. Let it rise up. This is the step where people worry that if I start crying, I'll never stop, or if I get angry, maybe I'll never stop. That's not the truth. If you have memories from the past rise up while focusing in on that body part, I caution you to focus on a very important truth, and that is memories and emotions are 2 separate things. If a memory comes up, it's a story. It's something that happened in the past that's never going to happen again. You may remember a memory, but it doesn't mean that you need to go into that story and replay out conversations or events. We're just focused on the emotion. These are 2 separate things. So the memory might come up, let it. If you don't get trapped in the emotion, the memory will come up and fade away. The emotion is going to carry with it. It's almost like a combined package. And that is what we're trying to let come up, is the emotion. It's very common that our body stored the memory and the emotion together in our body, and it will want to bring them up together. That's just fine. Let it. But remember, we don't want to get stuck in the story of that memory. We're trying to let go of the energy and that emotion. The 4th step is where we let go. Continue focusing in with your mind on that part of the body. If emotions are coming up, let them run their course. And here's the important part. Our 4th step and what it actually feels like to let go of an emotion. We feel it completely, we let it run its course, and in this 4th step, you'll feel this wave of emotion come up over you, and if you stick with it, it'll rise up higher, likely up to your head, and then you'll feel it lift out of you almost like a cloud. That is what it feels like to let go of an emotion. You allow your body to feel it fully instead of biting your tongue, instead of swallowing tears, and most importantly, instead of judging yourself. Judging yourself can look like thinking, I shouldn't feel this way, or I was just overreacting, or this is just silly, or I'm a wuss. Knock all of that off. Judging yourself is going to get you nowhere. You're just reburying those emotions and causing yourself more pain. Instead, let yourself feel the full emotion, no matter how big or small it is, no judgment. Let it rise up, and in this fourth step is where we let all of the emotion and energy rise up and lift out of us. When we don't judge, when we don't repress, it means that we don't hold on to that energy anymore. And that's how it lets go. Remember that your body is a living, conscious being. You are not your body. You are the soul. You are a soul inhabiting a body, but the body is brilliant. It is a very intelligent living organism that knows how to heal, and it wants to heal. Your body doesn't want you to sit in pain, in frustration, in disappointment anymore. It is craving to heal, and it knows how to heal. This process of dislodging emotions and letting go is your way of working in direct partnership with your body. And it may be one of the first times in years that you've truly partnered with your body in the healing process instead of making it more difficult for the body to heal. Remember, it also hurts the body to be in pain, to be diseased, and it wants to be free of all of this just as much as you do. The body is so intelligent and it knows what to do. If we simply remain open to this feeling of emotions and this letting go of emotions, the body's healing mechanisms kick into gear. It loves this. It is born for this. This is a very powerful healing technique to use in the body, but I also want to clarify that I'm not suggesting that you turn away from traditional medical care or treatments. Western medicine and spiritual practices often complement each other very well. I'm not suggesting that you only need one or the other. For example, if you have a broken bone, you don't need to meditate. You need to go to a hospital. And it's the same here. We're learning how to take the correct action at the correct time. And the same goes for the feeling process and the letting go process. You can work with it as much as you feel comfortable. As for how often to do this technique, that's very unique to the individual. If you've gone your entire life repressing your emotions, then you likely have a lot stuck in your body. Think of every time you've swallowed back tears, every time that you've refused to admit you were angry or you were offended when you really were, every time that you've allowed people to cross your personal boundaries. All of these have added up in the body. So it'll take some time to clear all of this out, but this is the technique that you can use to clear those out. When starting, some people like to do this every day for a couple of minutes. If that feels good, comfortable for you, then please do. If it starts feeling too overwhelming, too intense, back off a bit. Remember that you can be in control here. You don't have to feel it all at once. If you want to just do this one day a week, one day a month, whatever you do, you're aiding your body every little bit that you let go of. The magic of this technique is that it's not just for things that happened in your past. You can take this with you for the rest of your life. Anytime you have an embarrassing, sad, or angering situation, you can lean on this technique. You now know what it takes to fully feel and let go of an emotion. So instead of waiting for it to be repressed, you now have the tool in your back pocket to fully feel it and be free of it once and for all. If you found this helpful, then I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified of more healing technique videos as they get released. Thanks for watching, and here's to your health.